For me, the most exciting thing about cooking with plants is the possibilities.
The plot was a pipe dream of just being idealistic as, can I say that? I always say idealistic AF. Like, basically, like, we're like, what? And I had friends that were like, you can't do a zero waste restaurant. It's going to be too expensive. And the thing about zero waste is it's a journey, not a destination. It's constantly something that we're working on. You know, one of our first benchmarks was that we weren't going to put anything in the landfill. So we really had this goal of not bringing anything in that had to go into the landfill. So we're building out a lot of solutions along the way. But the plot was really just something that David and I wanted to do to give back.
I think as chefs, it's not just about teaching culinary techniques anymore. I think that's definitely a part of it, but we also have a responsibility to move this industry forward in the positive direction to help and change people's, I guess you would say, a stigma of plant-based eating. I would say it's a whole other step as far as culinary work, and it's a lot of fun to be able to be around a bunch of people that are just as excited to do it as I am. Well, it's a pleasure, you know, and it's honestly a lot of fun to do.
I think as we grow as chefs, we're able to do more with less. And I've always been interested in the challenge. That's the final safety net. Can you do something that's satisfying and delicious without one of the main things that chefs rely on to sell a plate, which is animal protein?
So it's pretty nostalgic because my grandma and my mom's house in LA has a bunch of fruit trees, and she has a bunch of nopales in the backyard and stuff. So she would always go back there, pick fruits and pick the cactus and stuff, and then use it for dinner. So it's just like always something that I felt so close to, you know, just being able to grow things and use them and like right then and there. To see something grow and be like, wow, you know, in 2 weeks those are gonna be really good. Like how am I gonna use these? So it's not really like a dish that inspires me, but really just the ingredients that we use. It's never ending, really, with plants. Throwing just random seeds in the garden and just watching them grow, being able to use those is like really inspiring. Not really a dish itself, but just from the start to finish of that dish.
I'm really excited to work on this project with the plot because I think that it's this reimagining of what our landscapes can look like, what our workplaces can look like, what our home spaces can look like. And by putting in more gardens and in these green spaces where we have the opportunity to, we're allowing others to imagine what our environments could be and what the potentials could be. I think that plants are great equalizers in a lot of ways. First off, we all eat. So we're all a part of the food system, and we all have an important role to play in how we influence what our food system is going to look like. And so the food choices that we make for every single meal affect our economy, affect our environment, affect climate change, affect the species, not only our own human species, but all of the organisms on this planet. There's this relationship that we have with plants that brings people together.
There's this idea that you have to look at everything in a silo, when really nature is a symphony. The entire world is a symphony coming together, and all of the different parts play such a vital role in supporting each other. And you learn about trees and fungal networks that really do. They have each other's back, and they provide nutrients, and they communicate, and they support water. And if you take one of those things away, you take away a vital piece, and everything goes awry. And I think in a garden, we see a lot of that. We see these ecosystems, these little microclimates in which one plant provides shade for another, and the other retains moisture for the next. And this restaurant is the same. Every single human here plays a vital role It's so important. The chefs and, well, the farmers too, because they're a part, our servers who are telling this story, and they provide inspiration for each other, which I think is one of the most important things. This is more than just a business. This is more than just a restaurant. It's a symphony, and it's a way that we can communicate our joy and our inspiration to a broader community.